Hi, welcome back to Arcade Spirits. Now last time, after Iris led us to a job opportunity, we had a very interesting interview with Francine, the lady who runs the Funplex, and eventually got taken on, saying that we were looking for hope in our new position, not just a paycheck. And now we're gonna go back to where we left off, and I think Francine's about to introduce us to our colleagues, so let's get going. Francine leads me back to the arcade floor to introduce me to my duties. It only occurs to me now that I forgot to ask exactly what duties this mystery job I'd accepted really involved. Oops. Francine gestures to the seat she was occupying previously, a stool behind the prize desk.
How marvellous!
Welcome to your new position, Louise. Sitting here, you mean? Sitting here and helping players redeem tickets for valuable prizes. I glance at the wide array of pencil toppers, rubber spiders and tiny plastic toy cars on display. I do like a plastic toy car. We have one that I got when I was about 3 in a Happy Meal. Still brilliant. Well, for prizes, at any rate. It's such a relief. I'd really been stretching myself thin lately trying to fill in since the position was vacated. If you don't mind me asking, Mum, why did the last guy who sat here end up quitting? Something about being so bored out of his mind that he felt like jamming one of those 500-ticket plush dolls down someone's throat. Bit violent.
Oh, such a shame.
Poor dear. He just wasn't cut out for this line of work. Grandson or no, I've no patience for such nonsense. Francine, brutal. Fire her own grandson. I mean, if he can't hack it. I'm sorry. The last person to work this desk was your grandson. Anyway, Gavin should be by soon. He'll handle paperwork and all that administrative nonsense. Now, if you don't mind, all this talking's tired me out some. I'll be in the back office if you need me. Okay then. There I am, looking spiffy in my new position. Wait, was that the new clothes that I changed into that Iris said? God, what was I wearing before? Just like stained pyjamas. Okay, I adjusted my seating on the semi-comfortable stool, leaning against the desk. Beneath me, a wide array of cheap junk awaited my attention. I could have lost hope then and there that this job would be even slightly more engaging than being a diner dishwasher, but chose to look on the positive side. I'd be helping kids obtain toys that would become nostalgic memories for years to come. They would find their Happy Meal car. Right? Any minute now. Not the busiest arcade in the world, apparently. I crave the sweet embrace of death. I mean, I get that it's boring, but a lot better to be paid to sit there and do nothing than to sit at home doing nothing and not be paid, I think. I've been sitting here for 2 hours now, and nobody's walked up to obtain a novelty Funplex shot glass, or a coloured pencil set, or a light-up yo-yo. Lunchtime's approaching, and so far the only people walking in and out of the arcade are a few stray adults, who have no interest in cheap friendship bracelets. Thankfully, my first customer of the day arrives before I start wondering if one of those 500-ticket plushies could really fit down someone's throat. This doesn't look like a customer, this looks more like Gavin, an administrator. Or maybe not. Nope, just walking right on by me, his head buried in reading some sort of spreadsheet off his tablet. Is he here to play? Doesn't seem like the typical businessman on a break or unwashed and unemployed game aficionado. In fact, Ooh, it's a snappy dress. It seems a cool dude. Wow, he's pretty stuck up. He's just busy. Most guys I know are content to toss on a t-shirt and jeans. Not this guy. Even in an arcade, he's sharp like a linoleum knife. A linoleum knife? Is that for cutting linoleum? Or is it made of linoleum? Because those are two very different types of sharpness. In fact, that rather pointed look he's offering me after doubling back is rather linoleum knifey too. Hold on a minute. Who are you exactly? What are you doing behind that desk? Where's Francine? I am present. No, let's not go with that. Pleased to meet you. I'm Louise. I'm Louise CM. I'm the new hire. I'm looking forward to working with you. He relaxes somewhat on hearing that. Somewhat.
Good to hear.
It's about time. I was wondering how long she'd have to work the desk. She's got gusto for an octogenarian and loves working the floor, but sitting here all day handing out toys and dealing with problems wears her down. So she explained the job to you? Gave you the papers to sign? She said Gavin would handle that stuff. With a sigh, he rubs his forehead, apparently feeling a headache coming on.
That would be me. I'm Gavin Cooper. I'm the business manager here at the Funplex. I make sure we manage to keep having a business rather than a pile of rapidly collapsing fiscal mistakes.
Right. So if you've no doubt guessed, you'll be exchanging tickets for prizes. But that's the least part of your job. Is there more to it than that? Or the floor attendant. You attend to the floor. What, the carpets? Apparently this Louise is having a tired day.
Seriously?
The floor. The arcade, the games, the patron. You're the one running around putting out fires and sorting out problems. I mean, that sounds less death-inducing, like wish-for-death-inducing, than just sitting there and not having anything to do. Technically, you're our second floor attendant. Ashley will be in later, but we need two. One to roam, one to operate the desk. I do it myself, but I'm typically busy in the back office, making sure the whole thing doesn't fall to bankruptcy. That's why Francine loved filling in. She's a people person. She loves helping out in a pinch. I am not a people person, as you've likely gathered. That's not to say you're alone out here. I'm in your corner, at least. If things go south, you tap me for advice on what to do. You got a phone? Of course. Gavin quickly passes me his business card. He apparently had a stack of them at the ready in his pocket. Go figure. His phone number is listed at the bottom. You ever worked a high-pressure customer service job before? She sells. Smelly socks? You have no idea. Right. Well, you know how to keep your head when the customer doesn't, I hope. If anything goes sideways, you text me. I'm not around, you text Ashley or Naomi. In that order. Who and who? You'll meet them soon enough.
I think not.
Above all, do not bug Francine. She's practically retired. Let her enjoy that retirement in peace. Understood? This isn't my first pony ride. You can rely on me. It's not my first explosive ordnance test. I've worked retail and food service, and I've worked as a lifeguard at a pool. Managing stress in difficult situations, even life or death ones, is something I've got experience in. You can rely on me. Gavin nods approvingly. Ooh.
Indeed.
Good. I like to hear that. If you can handle yourself and exercise good judgment, you'll last a hell of a lot longer than the last guy who sat there.
If you stay clear and honest with me, do your work, do it well, we'll get along swimmingly.
Well, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't get along swimmingly then. I am a fairly clear and honest person, and I do my work, I do it well. That seems to work.
I have enough problems keeping this magical arc of hopes and wishes afloat. Please, don't add to my problems.
How very encouraging. I shall try not to. Magical arc of what? Gavin sighs again, a stress-release gesture. But his expression softens somewhat afterwards.
I take it Francine told you her theory. That this is more than just a job. More than just an arcade.
That's my understanding.
I'm not into dressing up words. I like to speak plain. If I'm curt, then that's because optimization is a factor of my job.
I mean, in fairness, I hate double talk, so you and I are going to get on just fine, mate.
Everybody working here wants to work here. This is where they belong, for one reason or another. Me, I love chaos. I love wrangling chaos specifically.
That's a cool motivation.
The arcade industry is high risk, high reward. I manage that risk so that they can also find happiness in their lives.
Oh.
Everybody in this business has a dream they're chasing. It's a fragile thing, prone to getting crushed by hard reality. My job is to see to it that never happens.
What a nice dude.
That includes Francine, who deserves better in her twilight years than desperately propping up a semi-failing business. So, you find some value in this place beyond your salary, and you'll burn out. Trust me. Last guy to sit there burned out hard. Now, can I trust you to mess with our merry mistress?
No problem at all. I'm a model employee. You won't have any issues with me. I'm a solid worker. Gavin nods, satisfied.
Thank you.
I suppose that's a good starting point. We can build from there. Anyway, I need to go prepare your paperwork. Technically, you shouldn't be working until we cross the I's and dotted the T's, but since I'm already sitting here, you'd rather I stick around? That would be accurate. If you're willing to fudge things a bit and work today anyway, it'd help us out a lot. Now, if you don't mind, Naomi likely could use a hand in the workshop. A good opportunity to introduce yourself as well. Got it. Wait, someone else is here. I haven't seen anyone else. Yeah, that sounds like Naomi. Her workshop's through that door there, the one next to the UFO catcher. The crane game, to use layman's terms. Satisfied for now, Devin heads in the back, presumably to the office, to go crunch some numbers. But Francine's really taking a nap back there. Hopefully he's going to crunch quietly. My first co-worker ended up slightly less cool of a guy than I thought he'd be. But he's not a jerk, definitely. I get where it's coming from. Plus, I've known really blunt people before. It's easy to mistake them for jerks, especially at first glance. I figure I can give this guy an honest chance. Yeah, that's true. You know, as long as someone's respectful with their bluntness, there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, I should go meet my co-worker, this Naomi that he mentioned. I could swear Francine and I were the only ones here until now. A double door marked employees only, also with an apostrophe, leads from the arcade floor to what feels like an industrial area of some sort. I turn the handle and step inside. In a little room tucked away between the back offices and the funplex front, I find what is very likely this Naomi, spoken only of in myth and legend. A girl about my age, but certainly not my height, is tinkering away on what looks like an old tube-style monitor. Now, I get the feeling that she's supposed to be short, but I'm short, so we're going to pretend she's tall. I didn't realise this monitor had so many circuits. She doesn't notice me when I come in, too busy soldering a capacitor into place. The lingering smell of melting metal fills the air of the poorly ventilated workshop. Excuse me. For lack of a better way to interrupt her. I was worried, no wonder what I did. She might have, burned her fingers or jumped so high she hit the ceiling or something. Fortunately, the shock's not quite that intense.
Oh.
Hello.
Hey, you know this room is for employees only.
She said, with no apostrophe. Oh my god, this Louise is very petty about grammar.
Are you lost? Do you need something?
I'm Louise. I'm the new floor attendant starting today.
Oh, hi. I didn't realize Francine already found someone. I guess I forgot to check my text. Whoops.
She spares a glance at her phone on the nearby workbench, where a huge stack of green notification messages lie in wait. One thought comes to mind on actually seeing her. No wonder I didn't notice her until now. She was totally focused on the task at hand. The room's right at the heart of the building, but totally isolated. With the heavy doors closed behind me, I can barely hear the arcade. Considering how completely and utterly dedicated she was to that monitor, not even noticing me, I guess that's also why. But what I first noticed is her smile. Even when squinting to see the tiny components on that circuit board, even when laser focused, she was smiling happily.
Anyway, I'm Naomi Fairchild, the Funplex's techie. Hi! Pleased to meet you. I was expecting Gavin, though. He usually checks up on me about now.
He's busy doing strange things with numbers.
Ugh, yeah, that sounds like Gavin. I take it he sent you along to help? Great. Give me a hand with this monitor. It's really heavy, and I'm still paranoid about dropping it after what happened last time.
What happened last time? Really? What happened last time?
Oh, well, I dropped it.
Probably should have seen that coming. She helps me lift the large cathode ray tube, slotting the heavy metal framework into place within the exposed guts of the nearby arcade cabinet. Once done, she starts hooking up wires back to other wires. There's a surprising number of green circuit boards in that largely hollow wooden shell. This is the first time I've seen the inside of one of these things. It's weird. Lots of empty space, a couple of large slabs of circuits, and that beefy monitor. It's my first time seeing the guts of the game. I'll admit I don't know much of anything about how arcade games tick. I figured it was packed full of circuits and things. Naomi keeps working using the pocket multimeter to check various connections as she speaks. It could be packed in tighter, like a bar top or a cocktail cab. I'd say uprights favor form over functionality.
Let me explain.
Compare American and Japanese cabinets. Ours are designed for standing players, so they have to be upright, even if that means an empty base. Japanese candy cabs are shorter, so you play sitting down, but I prefer American style. Ours have more room for art. She closes up the rear access panel, closing it with one of the many keys on the keyring at her side, then steps back to admire her handiwork. There's genuine joy in that smile. Not just at a job well done, but at looking at the whole thing like it's a fine sculpture.
So beautiful.
I love the classic Midway style. Look at those sharp angles, the side art decals, the bold font on the marquee, the bezel artwork. The what of it? With a sigh, Naomi points out the key features to me. The strip across the top with the game title, that's the marquee. The artwork that wraps around the monitor, that's the bezel. I mean, you see it too, right? Beautiful and cohesive it all is, working in harmony to give this game its own unique feel, its own experience. As for me, well, I agree, it's beautiful in its own way. The way she stares lovingly at this, well, honestly, this box of wooden circuits and vacuum tubes and stuff, I think I understand. It was made to be one whole thing, the art, the style, and of course the game itself. All of it part of the same experience. Everything about this game is the game. If you run it on an emulator or on a game console, instead it's made lesser. Yeah, I guess I can see it. It's beautiful in its own way. Oh, good! Naomi lights up with joy like a pinball machine, all twinkly and shiny.
Woohoo!
Finally! So few people really understand the beauty of the classic arcade game. Having someone I can talk to about this stuff is gonna be great! Especially about jerk Gavin running the numbers. Gavin? What's wrong with Gavin?
I don't know.
Don't get me wrong, I can get along with him, generally, but his whole attitude just... ugh.
Ugh.
All he really cares about is money. He keeps the arcade running, yeah, but I just know if he had his way, he'd gut the whole place. If anybody's gonna ruin the Funplex, it's him. Mark my words, it's inevitable. Doesn't sound right. He seemed easy enough to get along with, and what's more, Gavin gave me that whole speech about protecting their dreams. This looks like a pretty sore point here, a long-standing argument that the new gal really shouldn't get involved with. And yet, I am involved, aren't I? I have to work with both Naomi and Gavin. Ooh, don't let the boat clear the air and find out more. I feel like if I was facing this, I would just sort of like, and just sort of like listen. Ugh, I just get so mad thinking about what evil money-minded schemes he's probably cooking up.
No.
No. Not gonna get worked up. Besides, it's not right of me to dump all this workplace gossip right on the head of the newbie. You seem like a good person, and you love arcade games like I do. Right, let's get back to work, shall we? Now for the less fun part. You seem a strong, strapping kind of gal. Well, a strong gal at least. Well, you're a gal. That's enough. Hey, I am actually quite strong. I'm semi-insulted then. Okay, let's get to it. Right, a little to the left now. My left. You're right. Careful. Now forward. Right. Correct. I mean, not turn to the right. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. And there. Carefully. Carefully tip into place. Victory! I gently ease the rolling dolly forward, the giant wooden box slotting into place alongside its neighbours. The two-wheeled dolly makes it easier, but hardly easy, especially with Naomi fretting over her baby getting scratched or worse, falling over. But with the work done, she's all smiles again.
Yeah.
Okay, glad to be done with that one. I swear, I've been working on that monitor for ages. Those tubes are finicky as heck, and I'm still not totally satisfied with the flyback. But thanks for helping me out, Louise. I think you're gonna do just great here. Happy to... Think I'm hungry? Oh, right. Stomach growling, food required, except... I wasn't expecting to actually be working today. I forgot to pack a lunch.
When you have pizza on a bagel.
Shh, Iris. Hey, so, any good restaurants in walking distance? I think that bookstore next door sells donuts and stuff, but... Oh, no, not really, unfortunately. I mean, there's a cheapo wub-sub sandwich place, but even if that stuff is super tasty, you don't want to go there. You need to eat healthy. Hey, I know. Wait right here. And she's off, scurrying back to her hidey hole. And she's back, scurrying from her hidey hole. Lunchtime! Here you go. She presses a box lunch into my hands. Oh my god. It's a bento box. I learned how to make them from my mom, who learned from her mom, right back when they lived in Japan. Rice and pickles and all sorts of good, healthy things. Wait, you're giving me your lunch? Sure, why not? And yet, when I first walked in as a stranger, she looked super uncomfortable with me. That escalated quickly. What are you gonna have for lunch then? Oh, I can just eat some nachos from the vending machine or go hit the whole store next door. I've got a book delivery to pick up anyway. But you said eating healthy was important.
See ya.
See you after lunch. Is she taking the excuse to get junk food? Queen. I can't help but think she was just looking for an excuse to go get some junk food instead. I'd say Naomi definitely fits in with Francine's ideals for this arcade. She's got a love for these games, and it shows. And giving me her lunch? Me, a total stranger? That's a kindness I don't know if I deserve, but I appreciate it all the same. So, a bento box. I've only seen these in anime. It's cute, and hopefully has plenty of calories too. Armed with a box of health food, I retired to the employee lounge to get my munch on. So that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed. Please give it a thumbs up if you have. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more. And I'll see you next time when we enjoy our free lunch. Alright, bye!